My only thing is, an investor has to be very clear.
Yeah.
What is the objective when he or she invests in the markets? Adore success.
Yeah.
We don't even look at the failures.
Yeah.
So we all know Amazon, we all know Tesla. There is one Amazon out of 1 million enterprises. What happened to the 999,999 enterprise? No one even bothered, no one even knows. Let us keep this investment simple.
Yeah.
I always say, if you believe that Indian economy from 3.7 trillion is going to be 6 trillion or 7 trillion over the next 5-10 years, then you should close your eyes and invest. People are in Indore, for example. It's an education hub. There are so many good organizations and so many good institutes.
Good afternoon, Sunil. It's a pleasure to have you in person. All the time we have been watching you on
Pleasure
TV.
is mine.
And we've been so impressed by the wisdom on the investment you have been giving to all of us. Means it's so public and so many people are benefiting. So it's our real privilege, my privilege to speak to you on one-to-one.
Thank you.
So we as a investor community, now, we are all happy about it, and especially you have been advocating, all the people, big investors have been advocating that, more and more people should come on equity. More in India, still the percentage is very low. But you would have seen, in last 2 years or last 4 years, it has definitely increased. So how would you like to say about that investor community which is going? So there are many, questions and
No, sure. So I think, thank you for having me. It's really a pleasure. So I think for the first time, see what happens is India has been doing well for a long time now. But unfortunately, Indians and Indian investors were not benefited out of the growth in the Indian economy and the Indian markets.
Yeah.
So it's such a pleasure to see that now we have 10 crore demat accounts. You have the whole awareness about equity investing and wealth creation is really spreading and being ingrained. And the benefit of this whole run last 3-4 years, I think has been solely captured by Indian investors. In fact, if you see, foreign investors have at the margin been sellers or have been on the sideline. Despite that, the markets have done so well. And it is all because of the retail investors of India, and they are benefiting. I think it's a great thing. But I would only say that अभी दिल्ली बहुत दूर है. There is a long way to go in this huge country. I think there is still a lot of room for awareness to be spread further.
But with the knowledge growing up and with the returns what has come in last 2-3 years, I think slowly it is speeding up.
100%.
Because you see a lot of people around you who thought that FD is the only alternate,
true.
now getting into this.
True.
Now some specific questions, since I have such a expert on market. A lot of us who are into investing, we talk, there are technical analysis, there are fundamental analysis, there are various factors which will affect. So you listen to them, So despite all the analysis, technical and fundamental, market takes its own course.
True.
So how do we relate to it? You have 1 hour technical charts, people expert in that, and then you have 24-hour course or 10-day course learning technical charts. And same thing is on fundamentals. Fundamental is, I think some people believe more, and I also personally believe more in fundamentals.
So see, I think all, whether it's technical or quant or fundamental, I think they are all, well-regarded, I would say, sciences, which have been there for centuries as far as investment is concerned, and different people have different I would say affinity as far as one of these studies is concerned. My only thing is, an investor has to be very clear. What is the objective when he or she invests in the markets? Is it to make short-term returns? Is it speculation? Or is it a mode of creating long-term wealth using your regular savings?
Okay.
I think if you are in this game to speculate and to trade, then this 1 week, 1 day, 1 hour, 10 minutes should bother you. But if you are in this to create long-term wealth out of the regular savings which you are making, then I think you should just focus on where will the country be after 5-10 years, whether it will be up, down, grow, not grow, and I think that should be the whole motive. In this quest for short-termism, we will miss the big picture.
Thank you. No, again, coming from since it's you say, a lot of people say greed, but there is greed. A lot of people say small fund, small caps, micro caps. There is a lot of money, but there is big risk. But when we look at investors, you look at top 10 investors. They will say they've put in some company, they've put 5% they purchased in a small company which we have never heard of. But after 6 months, we see that all the top 10 investors, starting from Mr. Jhunjhunwala to other Adwalias, and they've made a lot of money on that. So you get allured, you also think, that small cap and micro, there is money, but we somehow do not know how to get into it.
So, I'll give you a little bit of a perspective.
Yeah.
Obviously, the smaller companies will inherently have the potential to grow faster if they go right.
Okay.
But what happens is, we only, I would say, adore success.
Yeah.
We don't even look at the failures.
Yeah.
So we all know Amazon, we all know Tesla. There is one Amazon out of 1 million enterprises. What happened to the 999,999 enterprise? No one even bothers, no one even knows.
Yeah.
So there is this bias of success.
Yeah.
Second is all these large investors have large sums of money, and they are in a position to take more risks in small allocation to the portfolio. It's not that the small companies are 90% of their overall wealth.
Okay.
They are a very small portion of their overall wealth.
Yeah, yeah.
But individuals will only look at companies which grow like I would say exponentially. They don't look at the overall portfolio. I don't think any investor would be more than happy with a 15-20% CAGR return, including the names which you mentioned.
Okay.
But we always get enamored by very, very quick movements. I always say this, that if you have 100 rupees in India, approximately only 5 is invested in equity.
Yeah.
Where is the 95 invested?
Yes.
In fixed deposits, in some property, in jewelry. Do you track the price movement of all those assets every hour? Do you see whether your FD of 1 lakh is become 1 lakh 1,000, 1 lakh 1,500? Do you do that every hour?
Yes.
Do you check your land price or a flat price every hour? Do you call the jeweler every hour and do the valuation?
Yes.
But for equity, because it is available on your phone, you check it every 15 minutes.
Okay.
And that leads to short-termism. So I think let it grow. It is like a tree. You plant it, the fruits will come over a period of time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Again, being in the market, there are a lot of experts, there is a history that it's cyclic, there is a recession every 10 to 12 years. So we have seen good times, So is it coming?
See, even if it comes, it might last for 6 months, 1 year. I don't know. Whether first of all it is coming or not, I don't know. How long it will last, I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, in the fear that something will come, for 10 years you're not invested.
Yeah.
और 10 साल में तो 10 गुना हो गया. अभी 10 गुना होने के बाद में अगर 10% गिर भी गया तो भी 9 गुना हो गया. So I think let us keep this investment simple.
Yeah.
I always say, if you believe that Indian economy from 3.7 trillion is going to be 6 trillion or 7 trillion over the next 5-10 years, then you should close your eyes and invest. If you don't believe in that, then you should not invest.
Okay. The market has absorbed Russia-Ukraine war, Israel-Hamas war. Then again, when we listen, the Indian market, वो NASDAQ इसमें खुला है, वहाँ पे इस पे खुला है, रात को अमेरिकन मार्केट में ये होगा, हांगकांग मार्केट में ये होगा, जापान मार्केट में ये होगा, उसके कारण अफेक्ट होगा. तो जब इजराइल वार को हम पचा गए, रशियन यूक्रेन वार को पचा गए, तो फिर क्यों स्टिल व्हाई इंडियन इक्विटी मार्केट इज अफेक्टेड बाय दिस?
आई थिंक आप टीवी चैनल को ज्यादा देख रहे हो. ये सब उनके ही है काम.
अच्छा.
बिकॉज their job is to be live for 18 hours a day. तो उनको तो सुबह से शाम तक कुछ ना कुछ तो आपको बताना पड़ेगा ना. तो सुबह से शाम तो वही बताएंगे ना कि रात को क्या हुआ, जापान में क्या हुआ, यहाँ क्या हुआ, वहाँ क्या हुआ. As I said, if you are a day trader, if you are looking at making 5,000, 2,000, 10,000 rupees a day, then all these things should bother you. Otherwise, these are not in your control. What do you do?
Thank you. Now, how does Indore, this is the last question I would ask. How does Indore figure in the national market other than food? Everyone talks of food from Indore. It's there, it's good. But how does Indore, is it going to be a big financial hub? It's going to be a big industrial hub. How does, since you live in Bombay and you know what is happening around the country.
So I'll give you a perspective. I travel a lot.
Yeah.
And the good thing about India is that obviously you have the large cities like Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, which is a large city, Chennai, to some extent Calcutta. But the second tier cities are really, really buzzing. Yeah. So Indore, Jaipur, Kanpur, you go to Jodhpur, you go to, Vizag. There are so many, you go to Surat, Pune.
Yeah.
And I think India that way offers huge potential. Mm-hmm. People are in Indore, for example, it's an education hub. There are so many good organizations and so many good institutes. IT and services is coming up in a big time. I think there was a little bit of, I would say, lagging behind in terms of entrepreneurship. But when I see now, more and more entrepreneurs are coming up. So I think hoga 100% hoga. Or you're the cleanest city.
Yes.
Food is good. जो अभी तक मुझे तो खिलाया नहीं कुछ, तो मुझे देखना पड़ेगा. But food is good. I think, as I said, people are educated. There is nothing lagging, and obviously it's a agricultural sort of hub. So a lot of agricultural related industries are there. But when I see now pharma is coming up in a big way, as I said, IT services is coming in a big way. Location is great. It's in the center of the country.
Yes.
So there is huge potential.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot.